Welcome to the Raynin Threes podcast with Alan Ray and Mike O'Connell.
Hello and welcome to the 11th episode of Raynin Threes. I am your host, Mike O'Connell, here with Villanova basketball legend Alan Ray. Ray and I tonight have a special guest for you, and that is 2018 national champion, 2022 South Regional Most Outstanding Player, and now Houston Rocket forward, Jermaine Samuels. Maineo, what is going on tonight, my guy? Real appreciate you coming on.
Hey, man. Anytime. I appreciate y'all for having me.
What up, Maineo? What up, Maineo? Good to have you here. We excited to have you on here. You know, let's get right into it.
Yes, sir.
Let's do it.
All right. So, basically, you probably got this question a whole bunch, but I think it's kind of important for like the young guys to hear this and kind of understand like what that grind is like and kind of when other players kind of fell in love with the game. So just want to know, like, at what age did you fall in love with the game? Like for me, I probably was about 6, 7 years old. I used to go to the park with my pops and he used to play pickup. And I used to be on the side watching him playing, trying to mimic everything, going home, watching Knick games. And I guess I can say, like, at that young age of like 7, I fell in love with the game and knew like this is what I wanted to do. So I want to ask you that question. When did you know like this is what you wanted to do? Like when you fell in love with the game?
I would probably say, honestly, since I came out the womb, I mean, that's not even an exaggeration. Since I was a kid, like a baby, like my parents could show you photos. I even have some photos of me since I was a kid, like breaking little tykes to Fisher Prices. Mm-hmm. And probably, I think I was like 4, 5 or 6. I was playing with the older kids in like the rec league and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And from then on, I think it probably really kicked in probably like 5th, 6th grade. It was when like the AAU really started.
Yeah.
But from then on, I didn't play any other sports until then, seriously, competitively. That's the only sport I've ever played.
Okay. So like now at that point, you know you want to play. So the next part is that grind. Like what did you do for your grind? Like how did you make sacrifices to get like where you're at today?
Honestly, that grind really didn't start until I got to college. I would say from middle school and high school, I was playing against the best competition because I was on some of the best AAU teams. Mm-hmm. You know, you go around, you play against the best guys around the country. And, you know, that athleticism, you know, that level, you kind of surpass, you know where you're at, you compete. Yeah. But that grind probably really didn't kick in until I got to Villanova.
Okay. All right. So, when I mean like that grind is like, did you like start putting work in by yourself a little bit? Yeah.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah.
Going to parks, going to gyms, like stuff like that.
Any way I can get it. Anyway I can get into a gym, anytime I could work out. I was really a gym rat, you know, getting shots after practice, trying to show up before practice. It was just, I don't know, it was something about basketball that it just always had me. And nothing else mattered. Nothing else really mattered. So
no, I know how you feel, man. I know exactly how you feel. You got something to see?
Yeah, absolutely, man. And just to piggyback off that, Maineo, when you were at the River School in Weston, Mass, you were getting recruited by Coach Wright, Coach Bill Self, you know, guys at Coach K at Duke, Tennessee, Arizona State. So you were getting a lot of looks from a lot of serious big-time programs at the Division I level. What was it like to get recruited to play at Villanova specifically? And I mean, you just committed a few months after Jenkins hit the 3 to beat Carolina in the 2016 championship. So you were kind of right in that sweet spot. But I wanted to kind of get your perspective on how you were as a recruit dealing with Coach Wright and Villanova.
So it's a crazy story. I don't even really tell people this, but my sophomore year, we had an EYBL game down in Virginia at Boo Williams. And I played probably the worst game I could have played that day. I had like 5 points. I was crazy.
Sure, you had like 10 rebounds though.
Probably, but I don't even know. I was just trying my best. The The other team, they had some dudes that are still in the NBA today. And I got a Villanova offer, and I was like, I don't even know where it's at, never really heard of it. And then, fast forward, they're recruiting me heavy. I'm talking Coach Wright, Coach Ash, Baker, Neptune, everybody you could think of. They're coming to see me. Their phone calls, like, it was nonstop. I was like, damn, out of all the schools, this school was like showing me the most love. It was like they needed me in the worst way. And they just never stopped. I'm talking, like, they came in summertime, came to a couple of my games in high school, like going out of their way from all the way down in Philly to come all the way up to Massachusetts at random times, like during my school day. Like, it was like, I was like, damn, they're really showing a lot of love. Like, no other school's done this. I was like, and something's right about this. Something feels good about this.
Same thing with me, man. Like, Coach Jones was one of the assistant coaches at the time, came all the way to the Bronx, was like in the playground with me, shooting. Trust me, like, my friends are sitting on the side because I told all of them, I was like, my college coach coming, so I wanted to make sure they was in the park or whatever the case may be. But he was there. We was in there in the park shooting, and I was just like, man, they have no other coaches have done this. There's no other program that's like showing me this much love. It kind of was an easy decision for me. So I definitely feel you on that. Yeah, I do.
Crazy part is, a lot of people don't know this either, I also had knee surgery at the time in between my commitment and the offer from them. And they still came and saw me. I was like fresh out of surgery. Mm-hmm. It's crazy. So that's...
Yeah, I did read that. I read that you had an injury in high school. Me too, bro. I broke my foot, and it was crazy. I broke my foot my senior year, and this was I had just committed to Villanova, and I was like, man, I don't know if I'm able to keep my scholarship.
Yeah, thinking the same thing.
Yeah, Coach Wright was just like, don't worry about it. He was like, we want you, A-Ray. You know how Coach Wright is.
Yeah.
So I could feel you on that one. All right. I do got another question for you. Let's fast forward a little bit to the tournament 2022, that Final Four run. Like, I want to know, what was you guys' mindset going into that tourney run, and with the team, and especially with you, because you went in the whole month of March that year. You was 34% from 3, 60 from 2. You was 89 from the line, and you scored 127 points. So obviously something clicked with you guys, and especially with you going into that tournament and going into that March. Is there anything that you remember that kind of clicked for you guys, or anything that Coach Wright said, anything that the team, like the feeling? Because you guys came out different. Y'all was a different team from the beginning of the year. So something clicked. What was it?
I think, honestly, a lot of it was just dude with like Colin, me, Justin, obviously leading the forefront. And it was just our refusal to like lay down or go home. Like, we came this far. And me specifically, I just remember all the way the beginning of Big East, all the way up into the tournament, every single game, I could not sleep. I was like, this is my last year. Every game matters. I'm telling you, I'm on edge. I like 3 hours of sleep, sweating in my sleep. I'm like, this could really be it. So like every single game, I was just going into it like, man, that's all or nothing. Like, at least if I'm gonna go out, it's gonna be on our terms, my terms. And I knew I had Colin, Justin, Eric, Slate, Caleb, like whole staff behind me. Everybody's behind each other. So, I was anxious for sure, but I think it was just a desperation of just making sure no team out-toughed us or outplayed us for our final game.
Yeah. Nah, I definitely remember that. And I mean, it just shows a lot about like how you put that work in. Oh yeah, I used to talk to Coach Wright all the time, and Coach Wright used to always tell me, he's like, Jermaine just doesn't know like how good he is, or like how good he could be. And the way you played in that tournament and that March showed what like Coach Wright was saying. And I believe the same thing too, man. Like I'm a big fan of yours, and I really was happy for you when I seen the way you was playing. Like I know you could play like that all the time, and it's showing now. You with the Houston Rockets, you done put your grind in, you've been putting your time in. So I'm definitely proud of you in that area, and I think you really set the example for that team, that tournament. Y'all don't go to the Final Four without you playing like that. That's just my opinion.
I appreciate that. It wasn't easy for sure. It was a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you guys had impressive wins against Delaware, Ohio State, Michigan, and Houston. And you talk about toughness. That Houston game was just a rock fight, right? Kelvin Sampson had those guys dialed in. But, I mean, it was just all defense. It was a backyard brawl. And was that the game you probably you couldn't sleep the least about, because everyone was picking Houston? Everyone was like, this is it. Whoever wins this game is going to give Kansas a fight next round. And that was a war.
Yeah, no, that was probably the night where I really couldn't sleep. And it wasn't just because like I could go home, but I was just like, my body is about to go through so much, because everybody knows the way Houston plays is 2 guards and then 3 dudes who are going up the glass every single time. It's not even at that point. I'm not thinking about scoring. I ain't thinking about what. I'm just like, I gotta grab boards. Like this is gonna be the game where it's just like it's all or nothing. So just thinking about it now, like after that game, my gosh, bro. But yeah, no, that was definitely the game.
Yeah, no doubt. I felt like you gone through a football game rather than a basketball game after playing Houston. So, but I mean, so you talked about a lot of your teammates that year, but since you were a young freshman, you won a national championship. You watched all these guys then elevate into the NBA after their great careers as Wildcats. But what were some of your favorite memories with those upperclassmen in particular?
Honestly, it was the practices. Besides, the leadership and, guys, taking you under your wing like Mikhail, Jalen, Dante, all those guys, those practices were insane. Like to the point where I couldn't even be on the floor because they were just destroying me. Like, and Coach Ray used to get mad. I was like, you guys make it look so easy scoring on each other. And I'm like really thinking like, yo, these dudes are just that nice. Like,
exactly.
Like these dudes are just that nice. Like, bro, dunking on each other. Whatever you could think of that they're doing now, it was happening on a daily basis, and it was just insane. Like, I couldn't even handle it. I really couldn't.
Same here. I said, like Coach Wright, like I'm guarding Randy Floyd and Kyle Lowry. Like I'm not gonna stop them from scoring or getting anywhere on the court. I can just make it hard for them.
Yeah, literally. That's the best you could do. Sometimes.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. Not every single day. Like going up against Randy every single day. Like that was tough, but it definitely got me better.
For sure.
And going at him, I definitely got him better too. That's the motto at Nova.
For sure.
All right. Being in the G League this year, had a good year, averaged 18 points. Like how was your time in the G League this year? After coming out of Villanova?
It was interesting. It just goes to show like how much a season can fluctuate, like ups and downs. Like you go from playing one position to the next. You go from guys being out and your role stepping up to having all the guys back. 2 ways. Dudes get moved up. Like new dudes come on the team. Trades happen. It's just like, and then all you can really control is the work. And luckily, I had some great teammates, man. Like great guys. I had a veteran team basically that basically showed me the ropes, showed me how to play a whole entirely new system of playing basketball. Because at Nova we pretty much walk it up, depending on the years. We either walk it up or we're blowing it up the floor. And our team was number 1 in pace, so we were just walking up the floor like every single possession. It's size. How athletic dudes are, the IQ is a whole different ballgame than college.
How you like to play? You like to play up-tempo or you like to slow the game down?
Up-tempo now. Predictability of it, man.
Yeah.
It's just...
So when I was at Nova, we didn't play so slow sometimes, but we were kind of like up and down. We were a small team and fast team. But that going back to that game against Houston, that game right there was so like meticulous with the game plan. Like I was just sitting there, and you could see like Coach Wright going at it with the other coach, and then like you guys, like everybody was sticking to the game plan. Like it was only a little bit of a few mistakes. That game was really impressive as well. But yeah, just like the details and stuff like that is kind of different. I feel like at Villanova the detail is more pronounced than it was when I was playing pro.
For sure.
Like I got to Europe and guys is driving ball side and they're telling me like to help. I'm like, nah, I'm not helpful.
Yeah, no.
Like, nah. And coach getting mad at me, like, no, you need to help. I'm like, coach, like this is a shooter right here in the corner. All right, I'm gonna help.
Yeah.
But it's definitely different. Villanova is real detailed.
Yeah. Some of that stuff doesn't leave you either. Like all the habits, and I know it's cliche and you know, the whole Villanova thing, but a lot of it's still to today. It's just instinctual, and you can't help it.
Yeah,
So-
if you didn't pay attention at like if you paid attention at Nova while you was there, like you groomed, like you can be a coach.
Literally,
Like everybody can be a coach, all the players. Like you learn that much.
literally that much. I agree with you 100%.
So, Jermaine, did you guys know that Coach Wright was on his way out when you were on your tournament run in 22?
No, I honestly didn't. I thought he had a few more years left, but I could tell that he was still like, you know, the times are starting to change a little bit. You know, NIL coming, the transfer portal,
Right.
things like that. You could tell that it was kind of like, I wouldn't say affecting him because he was all in on NIL and our team and, you know, whatever it took for us to, you know, be satisfied and be happy as a group, as a unit. But no, it was definitely a shock. And I know he didn't mean for that to go public before he told us himself, but it kind of seemed like, you know, basketball, the whole situation of college basketball was starting to wear on him. And I honestly respect his decision and how he went about it. It's a lot.
Yeah, no, 100%. And now with Coach Neptune taking over for Coach Wright obviously still very much involved with the program. And what I've been hearing is that during practice when Coach Wright is there, Neptune is the bad cop and Coach Wright is the good cop. Is that something similar to how when you were at Villanova?
I don't know if there was ever a good cop, bad cop in any situation while at Villanova. Everybody was on the same page. But
Okay.
yeah, now Coach Wright's on the chill side. You know, he's
Okay.
that's Neff's job now.
Coach Wright is super chill. Like he's so chill, it just make me mad. Like, why are you so chill right now? You need you like this when I was playing.
Yeah, no, he's totally. No, I wouldn't say totally different, but it's different now.
Nah, he's different, bro. When I talk to him, when I see him, he's different.
Different, he's a little different.
Different. But it's good though. It's a good difference for sure.
Yeah, he put his 20 years in. He's or more probably.
Yeah.
He's probably good. He's probably good on.
And Jermaine, with Coach Neptune, with your time at Villanova, what was your team relationship and personal relationship like with him when you were there?
So Nepp pushed me to the brink, to the point where I didn't realize he was really just trying to get me better. Like that's how naive and young I was. How he would challenge me in every single scenario possible. And I think that's what I love about Nepp the most, is that he's going to try to bring it out of you one way or another. And he's just always about getting better and doing everything, you know, physically and going 100% at all times. But, you know, when that ball drops, Never's the coolest dude. Like one of the coolest dudes you could talk to. Hilarious too, by the way, if you ever have a conversation. Hilarious dude.
Coach Nepp. What you thinking about Nova Knicks? How you feel about all them guys being over there, man?
Hey, man, I love it. That's just great for the culture, great for the program. Not only that, but great for them, man. Like playing with your former college teammates.
That don't really happen that much.
Don't happen
At all.
especially like Kentucky, not even Kentucky or Duke or something like that.
Yeah.
But like to be able to do that, man, like low-key kind of jealous. Like
This is what y'all doing, man. This is what you guys are doing. Y'all guys put in that work and then like getting opportunities like this. Like this is great for Villanova basketball.
great. I think is even for the guys that that are still there now. Like it just goes to show, like, shoot. I mean, we're all over the place. We're not even just in one place. Some dudes are on other teams. You still got Kyle. Well, Collins on the Nuggets. Dudes are everywhere. So
yeah, you said that like Kyle was older son. Talk about we still got Kyle.
I knew that was coming, Aaron.
Where Kyle finds me and goes right at me when he sees me.
Kyle, right?
Yeah, literally. I already know how you get.
Nah, trust me, Kyle's still a little kid. He old, but he's still a little kid.
I believe it. I don't want to find out.
And Maineo, you'll be playing with Cam Whitmore a little bit too in Houston. So I mean, that's got to be exciting as well in terms of keeping the Wildcat connection alive.
Very, man. Being able to spend time with them, especially on the court, man, that dude is gifted. And just like gifted, and then athleticism, raw shot making ability, his will to compete. It's gonna be scary. I think once he figures out, the game and everything like that, the IQ part, I think it's gonna be scary.
Yeah, I seen it this year. Like you could see like the glimpses, the flashes. Dude is definitely super athletic. If he could have got up and down the court more this year, it would have been real good for him. But yeah, in the NBA, is more space. He's gonna be able to show his athleticism. I definitely can't wait to see that. Shut up all of those haters.
Bro, I can't wait. I think it's gonna be great for him, man.
Yeah, he needs it with all that talk that was going on this summer about him. So and I'm happy he got that MVP tour this summer. That was big.
It was, for sure.
And Jermaine, so you obviously talked about a lot of guys that you played with at Villanova that are now in the NBA. Do you keep in touch with a lot of those guys? I mean, I know you're probably still keeping in touch with Colin and guys you play with, but what about some of the older guys as well?
Yeah, so the guys in my class, Jeremiah, Colin, Sadiq, yeah, those dudes. But probably older than probably one I talk to the most, or two dudes I talk to the most, is definitely Mikhail and Phil Booth. And then I talk to Eric here and there, Jalen here and there, and Dante here and there. But for the most part, probably on a consistent basis, it's probably Mikhail and Phil that I talk to the most.
And when it comes to the incoming transfers for this year's team, have you talked to those guys at all? Have you heard much about them and how they've been looking so far in the preseason?
Yeah, man, I was fortunate enough to come back this summer and get ready with them. Like I spent the last week and a half there before I went out to summer league.
That's right.
And I think the guys that they got right now, I think it's gonna be night and day coming into this year.
That's what I'm saying,
bro. The pieces fit, bro. Like, just trust me. You got Lance back there. You got Hawk. You got TJ. All those dudes are bought in, bro. Tyler. All those dudes are bought in. Then you got Justin that's still there. You got Eric that's still there. You got Mark. Like, I think Nova should be excited.
What would you say to the fans out there that's worried about the team gelling and like having chemistry?
I would say don't worry about that at all. These dudes have been together all summer. Some of these dudes spent some time together outside of when they had to be there. What was that, the summer session? Some of those dudes spent time together, and they all know what it is. They're older guys. Like, that's what it's about, is the connectivity on the court, and they all want to win, and that's the most important part.
You heard it right here. Like Maineo, he's saying the same thing.
Oh, those practices are competitive, bro. When I was there, when I was watching, they go hard, bro.
I'm with you, Maineo. I agree with you. I agree with everything you're saying, and especially with them being older, having experience, I think that's going to help them a lot with like when it comes to chemistry and gelling. So I'm with you on there. The only thing is for me, Mark Armstrong, I just want to see where he fit in at. I mean, I know he fits in, but just where, because we, like you said, we loaded to share, and like I'm a big Mark Armstrong fan too. So I want to see him get his opportunity as well.
I think he will. I think he's gonna shine.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
And Jermaine, just a couple more questions to wrap up here. What was your favorite uniform that you played in while at Villanova?
I would say it's a tie between the pitch blues, which is the black. Black. Those ones are fire.
Yeah.
I would say that between 18 and I want to say 19, that throwback white.
Yep.
When the natty in.
Right.
That one's probably those two.
So clean.
So clean, bro.
Oh,
so clean.
And of course, I do have to ask you about. It was my senior year, the COVID-shortened season. I mean, dude, when you hit that 3-pointer to beat Kansas when they were ranked number 1 at Wells Fargo, I was there with like all my friends. Like we all stayed on campus afterward, like because the game was like right into winter break, and a lot of people had gone home. We're like, yeah, we're staying for this and that was the greatest live Villanova game I've ever been to by far. And it was brutal the way that season ended. But you guys had a serious team that season, man.
Yeah, nah, that season out of all my seasons probably hurt the most the way it ended, because I think that we went through so much that year, so many ups and downs, and then at the end we were clicking at the right time. Like we were so battle tested. I think we just beat Seton Hall on their senior night. The Georgetown game was our last game. I think we beat one more team before that. I can't really remember, but we were like in 1 or 2 point games every game, just pulling it out and winning at the end. And I felt like going into the tournament, I felt like we were the team to reckon with, because we had an answer for everything. There was everyone. We had Sadiq, Jeremiah, obviously Colin, Justin, everybody was ready to go, and everybody was ready to do whatever it took to win. And man, that one hurt. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah. I mean, you guys were 24-7 going into the Big East tournament. I remember driving up to New York when I got the call. I was like, all right, it's canceled because of COVID for the Big East. And I was like, oh man, you guys are gonna win this and then go on the Final Four. We were all talking about it, man. And yeah, I can't imagine how much that must hurt. But you guys certainly made up for lost time a couple years later. So man, awesome stuff.
Definitely
did. Maine, any other sports you like, and like what's your favorite teams?
Man, that's a hard question because I watch basketball so much. Like
I watch gotta like something else.
I like here.
I got a Patriots fan. You grew up in Mass. You gotta be Patriots.
Big Brady fan.
Nah, Patriots fan. Brady I gotta be a Brady fan. But yeah, anything that's going on in Boston, yeah, I'm a Red Sox fan, Bruins fan, you name it. But
wow,
it's hard to say that I watch other sports when I really don't. Like I really just watch basketball like religiously.
Yeah, man, I feel that. You been watching Team USA at all?
Yeah, for sure.
Dude,
scary
so
one.
Cool. So scary, man.
I was a little disappointed when I woke up this morning. They was up by like 40. And it was like 5 a.m.
Yeah.
But wait till pool play start.
Yeah, that's when the real games begin.
Yeah, it's gonna heat up, man. It really is. But hey, Jermaine, thank you so much for taking some time out of your day to join us, man. That was a lot of fun, and let's hope we can do it again soon. But obviously, we know you're gonna be busy with basketball season coming up, and best of luck to you, my friend.
Thank you, man. Appreciate y'all for having me, for real.
Yes, sir. Have a good one, Maineo. Appreciate you coming on.
Y'all too, man. Thank you.
Jermaine Samuels, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, man. Hey, Ray, that was a ton of fun. Am I right?
It definitely was. It was good to have him on there. It was good for my interviewing debut. Yeah, everything was good. We had a good time. He said some good things, especially some things I think that not Twitter, but Villanova, Nova Nation will appreciate. So I think it was good. What about you?
No, yeah, that was an absolute blast. Maineo and I have been friends since we went to school together. I was a sophomore, and he was living in Good Counsel as a freshman, and that's where I lived, and I got to meet him there. And we've been friendly ever since. He's actually one of my roommates I live with now, and him we're very close as well. So, shout out to Maineo. It was just an absolute pleasure to have him on, and I'm looking forward to how he does with the Rockets, and just his talk about. We went all the way from his recruitment to Villanova from the G League to now he is a Houston Rocket with Cam Whitmore. We talked about some of the highlights from his playing days at Nova. I mean, we hit it all. And you know what sticks out to me the most, Ray, is that Houston game in 2022. We got into it a little bit, and I know you wanted to talk some more about that game as well, because it was a coaching clinic.
It was, and it was a real elite game. For people who really appreciate basketball, that game versus Houston gave you everything you needed. You know, there was a big coaching battle going on. Both game plans was on full display. You could tell Villanova was trying to slow the game down, and you seen Houston wanted to get in the open court, and Villanova was just not letting them. But they both was battling back and forth with each other, not being able to play the game that they really wanted to play. I'm talking about Houston, but they still gave it their all, but just couldn't get past Villanova because we executed our game plan a little bit more. That was one of the best games I've seen in a long time, to be honest.
Yeah, and only 94 total points were scored between the two squads. So just a complete rock fight between Houston and Villanova. Kelvin Sampson, those guys were definitely well prepared. They were the 5 seed, and I still felt like everyone was picking Houston.
They was.
I think they might have been favored in that game. I think they were favored by a few points, which I thought was outrageous. They had just beat Arizona, which is everyone thought Arizona was going to come out of that region. Obviously, we did, but that was a really fun game until Justin got hurt, which we all know about. But Jermaine talking about how he couldn't sleep. He was getting maybe max 3 hours of sleep every night during that run. I mean, I get nervous about certain things, but I certainly couldn't imagine being that nervous before possibly your last ever college game. And you know this better than most, Ray?
Yeah, man, those nerves do run through you, especially during the tournament. So, I mean, I could see how he wasn't getting no sleep, just being excited and wanting to get on the court and play. Yeah, so I know the excitement. My last year, that tournament run we had was very exciting. I wouldn't say that I couldn't sleep. Mike Nardi was my roommate, so I had to sleep. If I didn't sleep, it would have been problems with Mike. So I made sure I was in bed at a decent time. So,
well, he would have beat the crap out of you.
Yeah. Mike Nardi, yeah. Mike. What? Listen, where we used to have shoot-arounds and we used to go to like team lunches, or if we had team dinners and we came back upstairs. All right, let's just do pregame. But pregame lunch, after we work out, we go pregame lunch. By the time I come upstairs, all the shutters are closed, all the windows are closed, the lights are off. Mike is under the covers. I'm talking about if I turn the light on, he gonna look at me funny. If I'm making noise, he gonna look at me funny. I'm like, I'm just like, I got to be on my tippy toes the whole time. Like, sorry, Mike, I'm just trying to take a shower so I can get to bed just like you. But Mike was like that. He used to sleep. He used to make sure he got his sleep, and it kind of forced me to go to sleep too, because I usually be up. But seeing Mike like that and him wanting to sleep all the time just made me want to sleep too.
Yeah, that's a hell of a teammate right there, Ray.
But didn't sleep no other time. Seriously.
Exactly.
Like, outside of basketball, he wasn't asleep up all night.
That makes sense. You know, you got to flip the switch a little bit, right? And it's pretty cool, Ray, to hear from Maineo about how he is still in touch with a lot of his former teammates at Villanova. He's still talking with Phil Booth and Mikal Bridges a lot. And it just really shows that the tradition that you guys really started with Kyle and Mike and Randy and everybody on the 04, 05, 06 teams, which were, you know, the first of Jay's really solid, successful squads and recruiting classes, how it really is carried on now into, you know, the present day. And it's unbelievable to hear the stories about them keeping in touch. And it's so funny to me that he mentioned the 2019-2020 team with guys like Sadiq and Jeremiah. I think people almost forget about Sadiq Bey and Jeremiah Robinson Earl because it was the COVID shortened year, and then I think they only played. I think Villanova was 17-6 the entire season in 2020 to 2021 that year. So just an overlooked amount of talent, I think, when Jermaine was talking about not just Colin and Slater and Daniels, but also Jeremiah Robinson Earl, Sadiq Bey. So, hey, you forget about those teams, Ray? But I certainly don't since I was there. But just very fun and great to hear that he's keeping in touch with his former teammates. And all these guys are in the NBA now, it seems like. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's definitely a great thing that makes me happy as an alumni. Can't tell you how many other alumni I talk to from different schools that I used to play, and I'll ask them, hey, how's such and such doing? And it's like, oh, I don't talk to him, or I haven't spoken to him in years. You know what I'm saying? But I can say that me personally, I've spoken to almost everyone in my class multiple times throughout the years since we graduated. And I think that just goes back to show, like, Villanova is a family. You know, it's so cliche. We say it over and over, but like you see it with Jermaine, he's still close with some of his teammates that he played with. I'm still close with my guys. Like, it's just that family atmosphere. It really is. I'm sorry for people that don't want to believe it, but that's what it is. Like, Villanova is a true family.
And how great was it too, Ray, when Maineo was talking about Coach Neptune when he was an assistant and Jermaine was still playing at Nova, that he would push him to the brink, to the edge of just being like, I'm going to test you until you cannot be tested anymore. And it seemed like Maineo was able to answer the bell just about every time. But he said he was a little bit young and naive a few times, and then he maybe got a little ticks off at Net when he really was looking out for him and trying to get the most out of him. And look at Maineo now. He's in the NBA. He's doing his thing. But I just found that awesome because not many people really know that much about Coach Neptune, especially compared to what everyone knew about Jay Wright.
Yeah, and that's also another big thing with Nova is like their player development. You know, that's one thing that they focus on with the red shirts. Like, it's not just, okay, we're going to red shirt you. Like, we're red shirting you because, like, we're about to put you through the fire. Like, you're going to learn a whole bunch and you're going to get so much better as a player. And with Neptune being on Maineo like that, it's the same thing, pushing him to get the best out of him. And like I said during the interview, Coach Wright, I used to talk to him, and Coach Wright used to tell me that all the time. Like, Maineo just hasn't tapped into his full potential, and he just, like, he doesn't know how good he can be. And just for me to be able to see how he went off in March, like, that's when I was like, this is what Coach Wright was talking about right here. Because he was super dominant. He was a stud in March.
Yeah, man, you were crunching the numbers of Jermaine's March 2022 performance, and you said it. He really just went to another level. Something clicked for him and his teammates as well, and just he was able to take over games. We mentioned that Houston game where he played a massive part in them winning, but Ohio State and Michigan, two very solid programs that we really were able to just survive those games, right? Like, we did exactly what we wanted to do, to knock them off balance a little bit and score enough points, play well enough defense to make sure we survive and advance. And that's exactly what we did. So reminiscent on that tournament run was great. I'm glad we got to do that.
Yeah.
But when it comes to recruiting, so to go all the way back, the fact that he was saying that they would show up and they saw him play a bad game and he played one of his worst games that he ever had, only scored 5 points. And then he got the offer from Nova, and then he had his surgery and he was like all like thrown off. And still, Coach Wright, Coach Howard, Neptune, everybody was showing him love. And he really was like, wow, this feels like you said, family. And there was something right that he felt in his mind, in his heart, and it turned out to be exactly that.
Yeah. One thing a recruit can't say about Villanova is that they don't make you feel welcome. Like they don't make you feel like family. They make you feel like we really want you. We want you and we're going to show you that we want you. Like listening to what Jermaine was saying about his recruitment and, how my recruitment goes. Villanova is real big on recruitment. So I'm not, a lot of people worry right now about recruiting, but I'm not. And I know that we'll figure that out and get to that point where we'll start bringing in some more of the top players. But just going back to what you said, the recruitment is the same from when I was playing to now. It's still, they draw you in with that family feeling, and when you go there, and you could just tell by how the coaches is talking, it's different from other coaches and other schools. Like you could feel like there's this business aspect about it. Like you could tell that these guys are serious. So I think that really attracted me, attracted Maineo and all the other guys that walked through those doors.
Yeah, no, it was just unbelievable to hear some of those stories as well. And we talk about recruitment all the time, and everybody's worried about the fact that under the Coach Neptune era, we have really not gotten enough recruits to make us feel comfortable, I guess, if you want to say that, with just getting Jordan Dumont. But Jalil Bethea, a Archbishop Wood guy, which was the same high school as Colin Gillespie. So, Colin's pitching in on the recruiting a little bit, but they had just visited Villanova over the weekend. And, it all circles that I hear from when it comes to Villanova basketball. I heard that it went really well. He's developed a great relationship with Coach Neptune and Coach Nardi. And, I think it's crazy to think like, oh my goodness, if we don't get this guy, it's the end of the world. Can't think like that. You'd be like, oh wow, if we land this guy, who's also getting looks from Kansas, from Maryland, from Miami, like legit other programs. I'm hearing Duke and Carolina were interested in the kid as well. You got to be like, wow, that is a massive win. So you can't be like, okay, if we don't get him, it's devastating. We need to get this guy. No, if we do somehow get this guy, then it's just an unbelievable thing for the program, and we'll celebrate if the time comes. But you can't put all your eggs in one basket in that regard, and everyone just needs to pump the brakes a little bit when it comes to that. But, hey, I think it's great. Jermaine was saying he got to practice with everybody at the Davis Center, including the 4 incoming transfers, Bamba, Hart, Burton, Ware, and he said those guys looked phenomenal. They were flying around the gym, having fun, and really gelling together as a group that you like to talk about all the time.
Yeah, man. And that was just good to hear him say that. I've been getting a lot of good reports from people in Villanova, and they're really excited about the team, which makes me excited. I hope everyone else is excited as well, because it's going to be a really good year. And I can't not say it enough. We will gel. Like, I really believe that we will gel. And we have the experience to do it. We got the chip on our shoulder that we need, because we didn't have a great season last year. I just feel like we got all the ingredients, and we just got to put it in the pot and get it stirring.
Oh, yes. Well
like
said.
That, right? You like
yes,
that?
Sir. Well, hey, you said that. You talk about the pot, get it stirring. Maineo was talking about it's the pieces of the puzzle there. All we got to do is just put them together. So, I mean, listen, we got 2 former Wildcats telling you right here how it is. And if you're talking about, oh, I'm worried about the team, the chemistry isn't going to develop in time, listen to Raynin threes. We're trying to tell you what's up.
Exactly. We here. Me and OC, we breaking it down for you.
Yes, sir.
Brought Maineo in here. He broke it down for you guys, too.
Oh, man. Right? Maineo said exactly what I was hoping he was going to say. We had no preliminary discussions. We didn't talk about, oh, you got to say this for the fans. No, that was straight from the heart. He knew exactly what he wanted to say, and he said it very eloquently. And I really hope people actually take those words to heart, because, hey, Ray, how many times are we going to tell them?
They still going to keep asking. They still going to worry.
Yeah.
But you could go to episode 11 and, feel a little better when you hear us talk about it, and when you hear Maineo say that we have the experience, we got guys that know how to play, and he said they bought in. See, you didn't hear me say that because I haven't seen them practice yet. I haven't been up close, but Maineo has, and he said that they bought in. That's a big term in Villanova. That's a big phrase.
Yep.
Like, he bought in. They bought in. These guys buy in. So that's another good thing to remember.
Right. That's right, man. You got to buy stock in this team because everyone's bought in. And I was saying that I've heard that from Coach Wright, from different people that have talked to him in person. But like you said, bought in, hearing that from Maineo himself, right on the Raynin Threes podcast. It's a beautiful thing, my friend. And what a pleasure it was having him on. It was an absolute blast. We're going to have more guests coming up in the near future, Ray. We got some more things cooking up behind the scenes, and I'm really looking forward to that as well.
Definitely, just gotta keep pushing, keep grinding, and just keep trying to build.
Yes, sir. Because
we get in there.
Because basketball season is right around the corner. It's unbelievable. The summer time is coming to an end. We got Labor Day weekend coming up here, and all of a sudden it's going to be Hoops Mania time in October, and then we're going to be playing some behind closed doors scrimmage against another team, and it'll be November 6th against American at the Finneran Pavilion in no time, Ray?
It's going down. I will be tuned in, whether I'm there or I'm at home, but I will be tuned in.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to that one, and I'm also looking forward to watching a few former Wildcats play to represent Team USA. I'm repping the red, white, and blue right now. I got everything. It's Labor Day weekend. Team USA is playing Brunson, Hart, Bridges. It's going to be a ton of fun. They went 3-0 in the group stage, beating up on New Zealand, Greece, and Jordan. I mean, right, they won by an average of 35 points, right? I mean, this was domination.
This is what we expect, especially for that first round. You want to see Team USA move like this because, if we didn't, them questions going to come from everybody. Oh, my God, what's wrong with the team and everything like that? Oh, these guys aren't that good because they didn't win by 25 or 30 points. But they doing what they supposed to do. But it's going to get a lot harder. Trust me. I played in Europe for a while. Those teams are good, and there's some good players. They're gonna meet up against, and I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be phenomenal. Mikal Bridges got asked about the synergy between Hart, Brunson, and himself, and he said, "You don't just lose it. Playing with JB all those years and Josh as well, it's just second nature. All those practices, all those games we had at Nova, it just feels so natural." How about that, Ray? Come on.
Yeah, and like Josh knows Jalen, like he knows his habits. Mikal knows Josh's habits, like they know each other's habits. So if like things can happen in the game and like they don't even have to communicate with each other, but they just know each other so much, like they can solve problems on the court. Like it's crazy, and I get what he's saying. Get what he's saying about that chemistry. Like it doesn't go away. Like I can get on the court right now and run freaking a fast break play with Kurt and Randy and Jason, and I could run it in a game against another team 5-on-5, and we'll still be locked in with each other. So yeah, I know exactly what he's saying.
Yeah, no, it's innate between those guys. The Wildcat way is running through their veins when they're putting on the red, white, and blue. So it's an amazing thing to witness.
Level too.
Oh yeah, it's insane. Coupled with Anthony Edwards, Bobby Portis, these guys are putting on a clinic. It's fun to watch, and more of that upcoming this weekend. And just real quick, another note I saw on Josh Hart. He's 7th in the entire FIBA World Cup in rebounds. He's averaging 9 a game. Each player ahead of Hart when it comes to rebounds per game is an average of 7.5 inches taller and is also playing 47% more minutes. I mean, this guy's the best rebounding guard that you could possibly ask for.
Best rebounding guard in the league by far. Like, no questions, no, hands down. He's definitely the best and always has been one of the best rebounding guards. His motor is unbelievable. Like, I've never seen a guard that just like does all the dirty work like he does. Like he literally does. He's like PJ Tucker 2.0. Like I don't even want to say he's like, I don't even want to compare him to PJ Tucker. I don't like comparing people because like they're two different players. But if you look at like the intangibles that they bring to the game, defense and being tough, like Josh does more. You know, he does more. So that's why I just said PJ Tucker 2.0. But
Yeah.
I'm not saying he played like PJ Tucker, all right?
No, I hear you. I hear you. Josh does all the little things. He's scrappy. He's fun to watch, but he certainly has the legitimate skill and willpower to back it up as well. So, Team USA, Hart, Brunson, Bridges, these guys are absolutely crushing it, and I think we'll continue to do so this weekend where they face Montenegro and Lithuania. So, two teams where they haven't seen just yet, and their second round group includes Greece, who's they obviously faced over this past weekend as well. They handed them a 30-point loss. So, look, I really think that Team USA is going to continue to win and be led by Captain America, Jalen Brunson.
Yeah, definitely. Looking forward to it. Like you said, are they playing, and are they still in the Philippines or are they moving to a different location?
Yeah, they're still in Manila, and they're going to be playing Friday, September 1st, 4:40 a.m., Ray, bright and early.
On a Friday.
Yeah,
Like you want me to wake up at 4:40 a.m.
And then Sunday, September 3rd, a little bit later, a little morning matinee special at 8:40 a.m. on Sunday the 3rd. So that'll be against Lithuania. I think they go out and win 2 more games, in all honesty with you. Get that record up to 5-0, and then all of a sudden, it's go time.
Yeah. Right.
So, hey, an absolute pleasure to be here with you again, Ray. I mean, just couldn't have asked for a better showing from Jermaine. Maineo really hooked us up tonight, giving us some fun answers and had a lot of really great topics of discussion that we hit on. So I'm looking forward to hearing the reaction from our listeners and hoping we can kind of continue to get more and more viewers, listeners, love, and support, because what we have right now from the Villanova Big East basketball community is phenomenal. But let's keep going, Ray. This is just the beginning for us, my friend.
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, OC, let's keep it going. Got some other guests coming on the show. And
oh yeah.
Like you said previously, on a piggyback on it, the season's getting ready to start. And that's when all the madness happens, like you guys know. And I want to thank Elon for getting paid with the ads on Twitter. Finally, somebody really appreciates my tweets and wants to pay me for them. So I appreciate that. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. So thank you to Jermaine Samuels, our guy behind the glass, Nick McGow, Nick at Night doing his thing. And hey, with my guy, Ray, I am your host, Mike O'Connell. This has been the 11th episode of Raynin' Threes. Tune in next time, folks.
Raynin' Threes, we out.